Hi, guys. If you're a prison wife, I urge you to do this one thing. Before I get into that, let me introduce myself. Hi, it's your girl Cadillac. I am Cadillac Dixon. I am the Draw My Life prison wife. I'm the legally blind artist that is rapping and painting for justice, hoping to see justice before all face to black. Here, here's your girl Cadillac. Girl, let me tell you, if you are a prison wife and you are fighting for your husband, because a lot of times we are their only advocate, a lot of times their family jump ship, they don't support through this, your family won't support you through this, you're kind of on your own with fighting. And then a lot of times we don't have a lot of money, so legal defense is kind of with not within our reach. So a lot of your husband's case, you're gonna have to fight. You're gonna have to fight. So if you are a prison wife fighting for your husband, I'm gonna urge you to please do this one thing. Girl, I'm doing it now and I just cannot believe what I am finding. Oh, okay. Girl, let me tell you. I don't know if it's the same here it, as everywhere else, but in Orange County, in Florida, you a lot for so long. I did not. I just kept saying that I didn't have a copy of Marcello's transcript. He did have one at first. That is all the appeal lawyer did for him. He had a appeal public defender, and that is the one and only thing that he did do for him. He gave him a copy of the transcript. Well, he didn't even give him a copy of the transcript. He gave me the transcript, and I was able to borrow it for like an hour or two and go make copies at the local Kinko's and pay for it. That was what he gave me. That is all he did for us. So Marcello had a copy of his transcript and he was going through his transcript, and he had somebody, like basically one of the jailhouse lawyers, going through his case. And they can be transferred at the drop of the dime. Like, you don't know when they're going to be transferred, and boom, they're transferred. So when they transfer them, it's like late at night, early in the morning. They don't even know themselves they're going to be transferred. And a lot of times they end up losing property because of that. So Marcello lost his transcript, and that cost me like $100 some, I believe. It costs a lot just to make the copies. And for years, we just didn't have a copy of his transcript because I kept thinking that it's going to be another, because it costs more if you purchase it through the courts. It costs a dollar and something per page. And then these transcripts are like this. So let me tell you what to do. Girl, see, this is what you need to do. See if they have the option to get the USB. You don't have to have the printed case. Go to the clerk of courts, and you're gonna, I don't know if it's the same here everywhere, just research. And you can ask for the case to be on a USB file. They will send you the entire case on a USB file. Now, you're going to want everything. You're going to want the transcripts. You're going to ask for everything. Make sure you're going to type a message to the person that's preparing this for you and let them know you want every single thing that has to do with your loved one's case. Girl, I'm going through this stuff. Like, I have read through the transcript, but but anyways, okay. So you can get all of that, and the actual USB is less than $10. Less than $10, you can have your husband's case. Don't think that you can't have his transcripts because they cost too much. Because prior to me finding this out, what I was going to do was order sections of his transcript a little at a time until I actually was able to afford the whole transcript. Girl, goodbye with that. Get that USB, and then you could print it out, send him copies. Well, the mail room change. Get him copies, however, I don't know. But and you can have your own copies, and then that way you have more than one copy, and both of y'all could be going through this case. Because girl, let me tell you what I find. Now, me and Marcello always knew that in our hearts that his public defender worked against him, right? Worked against him. He didn't put up a fight. That's like, I want to do a video like that, comparing what that would be like. But that would be like someone trying to take your child from you and you just sitting there and not putting up no fight. Like, what type of mother would do that? You know what I'm saying? He's supposed to be fighting for Marcello, and he completely fought to get Marcello convicted. And we always felt that in our hearts. We know he didn't do a goddamn thing. We turned in, proof that he discarded, that he never even used, not even in trial. He didn't do anything. He didn't bring witnesses to court. This man did nothing but each meeting asked Marcello if he was going to take 17 years for something he didn't do. That is all he did. Each meeting, he did nothing. Didn't prepare a defense or nothing. Now, okay, the lack of fighting, that's bad. That's bad. But what I find in this case is worse. This man 100%, now we know, worked against and worked to ensure that Marcello be convicted. Now, let me tell you first, when trial came around, which we're coming up on 20 years of trial date, Marcello went to trial. The first trial, I believe, was in March. Coming up really soon. It's going to be 20 years since that point. And he went to trial. I was accompanying him. We sat out in the front. We never came into the courtroom. His public defender comes out and he says that we're going to have to continue the trial. It's not going to be today. And we're like, okay, what does that mean? And he's like, we're going to continue it because the two guys basically that are pressing charges against you for robbery, they didn't show up. So nobody is here to press the robbery charges against you. Robbery plus other charges that they milked out of this instance against you. And we was like, so what does that mean? So the public defender replied, he was like, oh, so that means that if the judge is going to continue it to a second trial date, and if they don't show up, then we're going to have to let you go. But now this is the part that makes no sense, but your public defender, oh, let me tell you this first. They didn't show up to court. You know why? Because after this alleged robbery happened, they moved to two different states outside of Florida. They moved away. Now you mean to tell me somebody robbed you and you was in fear of your life and you move away? You don't come to trial? You ignore subpoenas sent to you, each of them, two of them. You ignore the subpoenas. 1, 2, 3 times subpoenas were sent out to you. So you didn't show up to court, right? You ignore all those subpoenas of when you want the person that robbed you to be behind bars. You would show up. You wouldn't even have to send me 3 subpoenas out. I'm going to show up. I need them caught. I don't feel safe with them out here. You know what I'm saying? So instead, they ran off to 2 different states outside of Florida. Guess what Marcello's lawyer did? He said, well, they're not here to press charges against you. So I'm going to see if I can go out of town and get them to come to court. We were like, what the? Huh? Why would you do that? Why would you do that? Like, why? Girl, let me continue this in the next video because this one about to cut off.